Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to the Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's class in Caitanya Caritamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 4, text 51 through 56. And we're very fortunate to have His Grace Bhakti Vasudeva Swami visiting Harrisburg and now online with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to the Prabhupada. Jai.
Glories to the Prabhupada.
And please take over. Hare Krishna.
Thank you and welcome everyone to this morning class, Caitanya Caritamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 4, text 51 to 56. Suresanam Dorgam Gati Atisayeno Pani Sadam Muninam Sarvam Swam Pranatapatilanam Mundurima Viniryatsa Premno Nikila Pasupalam Pujadrisam Sachetanya Kimme Punapi Driso Yasya Pipadam. So word for word translation. Let's take that first. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chanda Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this text is about, the whole of this chapter is about delineations on the confidential meaning or this confidential undertone of Lord Chaitanya's advent. So we take this synonyms word for word. Sura is Sanam of the kings of the demigods. Durga, Putras. Gati, the goal. Atisayena, eminently. Upanishaddam, of the Upanishads. Moninam, of the sages. Sarvasvam, the be all and end all. Panatapatalinam, of the groups of the devotees. Madhurima, the sweetness. Viniryasaha, the essence. Premaha, of love. Nikila, all. Pasupala, of the cowhead women. Ambuja Desam, lotus-eyed. Saha, he. Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya. Kim, what? Me, mine. Punaha, again. Happy, certainly. Driso, of the two eyes. Yasyati, welcome. Padam, to the abode. Translation. Lord Chaitanya is the shelter of the demigods, the goal of the Upanishads, the be-all and end-all of the great sages, the beautiful shelter of his devotees, and the essence of love of the lotus-eyed gopis. Will he again be the object of my vision? So text 52. Aparam Kashyapri Panai Janavrindasya Kutuki Rasastoman Kritva Madhuram Upaboktum Kamapia Rosham Swam Vare Jitim Ihatadiyam Prakatayam Sadheva Caitanya Kriti Atitara Nakripayatu. Word for word translation: Aparam, boundless. Culture, api, of someone. Panayi, Janavrindasya, of the multitude of lovers. Kutuki, one who is curious. Rasastobam, the group of mellows. Ritwa, stealing. Maduram, sweet. Upabuktum, to enjoy. Kamapi, some. Yaha, who. Rusham, luster. Swam, on. Avavre, covered. Dutim, luster. Iha, here. Tadiam, related to him. Prakatayam, manifesting. Saha, he. Devaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Caitanya Akriti, having the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Atitaram, greatly. Naha, unto us. Kripaya, to, may he shower his mercy. Translation: Lord Krishna desired to taste the limitless nectarian mellows of the love of one of his multitude of loving damsels, Sri Radha. And so he has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya. He has tasted that love while hiding in his own dark complexion with her effulgent yellow color. May that Lord Chaitanya confer upon us his grace. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Text 51 and 52, respectively. Pratama Sri Chaitanya Staka 2 and Dvitiya Sri Chaitanya Staka 3 from the Stavamala of Srila Rupa Goswami. Text 43. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila for chapter 4, text 43. Bhavagraha hetu kela dhamma stapana tara mukhya hetu kahi tara mukhya hetu kahi sunasar vajana. Word for word translation: Bhavagraha nera, of accepting the mood. Hetu, the reason. Kela, deed. Dharma, religion. Stapana, establishing. Tara, of that. Mukhya, principle. Hetu, reason. Kahi, I say. Suna, please hear. Sarvajana, everyone. Srila Prabhupada's translation. To accept ecstatic love is the main reason he appeared and re-established the religious system for this age. I shall now explain that reason. Everyone, please listen. Text 54. Mula hetu ages lokera kela abas. Ibe kahi se is lokera at prakas. Word for word translation: Mula hetu, the root cause. Age. In the beginning. Slokera of the verse. Kela gave. Abasa hint. Ebe now. Kahi I shall speak. Say that. Slokera of the verse. Ata meaning. Prakata manifestation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Having first given hints about the verse, describing the principal reason why the Lord appeared, now I shall manifest its full meaning. Next text. Text 55. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Asmat Ekat Manavapi Bhuvipura Deha Bedam Gato Chaitanya Kyam Prakatam Adunatat Dvayam Chekyam Aptam Radha Bhava Jyoti Suvalitam Nami Krishna Swarupam. Word for word translation? Radha Srimati Radharani, Krishna of Lord Krishna, Pranaya of love, Vikriti, the transformation, Ladini Shakti, pleasure, potency. Asmat, from this, Eka, Atmano, both the same in identity. Hey, come on. Can you stop that thing? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Supposed to switch up that phone, but that because I was using it. Happy, although Bhuvi on earth, Pura from beginningless time, they have Bedam, separate forms, Gatha obtained, Ta, these two, Chaitanya Akyam, known as Sri Chaitanya, Prakata, manifest. Aduna, now. Tadvaya, the two of them, Cha and Akyam, unity. Aptam, obtained. Radha of Srimati Radharani. Bhava, mood. Duty, the lost. Subilitam, who is adorned with. Nami, I affirm obeisances. Krishna Swarupam, to him who is identical with Sri Krishna. Translation, the loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal potency, of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now, these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Purport. This text is from the diary of Srila Rupa Damodara Goswami. It appears as the fifth of the first 14 verses of Sri Caitanya Caritamrita. Interesting. Text 56. Radha Krishna Ek Atma, Dieu Deha Dari, Ayoniye Vilas Rasa, Aswadhankari. Synonyms, word for word translations. Radha Krishna, Radha and Krishna. Eka, one. Atma, self. Due, two. Deha, bodies. Duri, assuming. Anyonye, one another. Vilas, they enjoy. Rasa, the mellows of love. Aswadana Kari, tasting. Translation, Radha and Krishna are one and the same. But they have assumed two bodies. Thus, they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. Purport. The two transcendentalists, Radha and Krishna, are a puzzle to materialists. The above description of Radha and Krishna from the diary of Srila Swarup Damodara Goswami is a condensed explanation about but one needs great spiritual insight to understand the mystery of these two personalities. One is enjoined in two. Sri Krishna is the potent factor, and Srimati Radharani is the internal potency. According to Vedanta philosophy, there is no difference between the potent and the potency. They are identical. We cannot differentiate between one and the other, any more than we can separate fire from heat. Everything in the absolute is inconceivable in relative existence. Therefore, in relative cognizance, it is very difficult to assimilate this truth of the oneness between the potent and the potency. The philosophy of inconceivable oneness and difference propounded by Lord Caitanya is the only source of understanding for such intricacies of transcendence. In fact, Radharani is the internal potency of Sri Krishna, and she eternally identifies the pleasure. And she eternally intensifies the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of Mahabhagavat devotee. The name Radha suggests that Srimati Radharani is eternally the topmost mistress of the comforts of Sri Krishna. As such, she is the medium transmitting the living entity's service to Sri Krishna. Devotees in Vrindavan therefore seek the mercy of Srimati Radharani in order to be recognized as loving servitors of Sri Krishna. Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu personally approaches the fallen conditioned souls of the Iron Age to deliver the highest principle of transcendental relationships with the Lord. The activities of Lord Caitanya are primarily in the role of the pleasure-giving portion of his internal potency. The absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the omnipotent form of transcendental existence, knowledge and bliss in full. His internal potency is exhibited for us as Sat, or existence, or in other words, as the portion that expands the existence form of the Lord. When the same potency displays full knowledge, it is called Shit, Samvit, which expands the transcendental forms of the Lord. Finally, when the same potency plays as a pleasure-giving medium, it is known as Ladini, or the transcendental blissful potency. Thus the Lord manifests his internal potency in three transcendental divisions. Obengana Timiranas, yeah, Gana Salaka, yeah. Saxo Umelitam Jane, that's mine. See Gurubin Maha. Chaitanya Manovistam. Safitam Yin Brutally. Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Swa Vedantika. Vandehan Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sihodito Buddhadai Puspavantu Chita Chapatamo. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadara Sivasari Segora Bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale. Semate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine. Nirvisesa Sanyavadi Pachatari. Vancha Kalpatari Bacha Kripasunam Vyaya Vacha Patana Pavani Vyo Vashnava Vyo Namo Namaha. So again, welcome everyone to this morning class. This is a big adventure, spiritual adventure, because you are mostly professionals, and for you to have this setup, I feel very, very inspired, because this is a means to be able to sustain your daily professional activities. You're taking the spiritual diet before you go into the field. It's arming yourself, because these very discussions of the Lord, they are the means that help to diffuse the negativity, the confusions, the dust, the material dust on the mirror of the mind. Therefore, it's specifically mentioned in the Bhagavatam, Nasta Prayesu Abadrisu. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is no other person than Radha and Krishna combined, and the whole of this text, they're just giving us some delineation, insightful information about this fundamental principle. And it's interesting because, the previous text, I think text 53 or so, yeah, it's mentioned there is a diary from Swarup Damodara, but a similar text is also found in the writings of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, wherein Sarvabhauma mentions that, Lord Chaitanya, you have come to teach your own devotional service. You are Krishna. You are Krishna himself. But now you're taking the role of a devotee to come and teach us how to become, how to really utilize our resources in the service of the Lord. In the sense that in the statement of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he said that, Viragya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Sistaka Eka Purusa Purana. So Krishna Chaitanya Sarita Dhari Kripambudu. My obeisances to you. You are the ocean of mercy. You have come to teach us renunciation, detachment. There are different types. I was mentioning this the other day. Different types of detachment. You can also become, even a monkey is very detached. You know that a monkey is very detached? But the type of, detachment that Lord Chaitanya came to teach us is not that Makata Varagya, that monkey renunciation. The monkey jumps from one tree to the other. Very detached. He has no home, okay? He has no home. One devotee, he bought a big, a very luxurious home in Calcutta. So, invited some of the Swamis from Mayapur. I was there. The other Swami was there. The younger Swami was there. And so, one of the things I was mentioning is this: if people come to this your home, they'll be thinking, Are you a devotee? You're not retiring at all. Look at your look at your luxurious home. So, but you know, this is very an antiquated mindset, antiquated mentality, because the vairagya that is recommended for the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is yukta vairagya. Engage in all of your resources, your talents, your intelligence, mind and body, your money, your family in the service of the Lord. So there's no question of something that is belonging to somebody else. Everything in this world belongs to Krishna. So if we use everything in Krishna's service, that is the perfection of devotional service. And therefore, when Lord Chaitanya was touring South India, this Brahman approached him. He wants to give up his family to follow Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya sent him back. He said, go and make your family, or your whole family, devotees. Make it home a temple. And we find that in the life of Narada Muni, I remember on one occasion, Narada Muni had visited Lord Krishna at Dwarka. So Lord Krishna observed that Narada Muni was morose. So he asked, Narada, what is going on? You're the pure soul and you should be happy, So Narada explained that, see, I've traveled all over the places. I've traveled all over the places. I couldn't find anywhere where you are being glorified. This is the source of my misery. This is why I'm despondent. This is why I feel miserable. And therefore, Lord Krishna said, don't worry, Narada. I will personally come. I will come as a devotee and do this job myself. I and Radha will come, but we'll combine and become just one person representing the emblem of bhakti. That's Lord Chaitanya himself. So this was more or less like a stimulation, a trigger. Lord Chaitanya's coming was a trigger by Narada Muni, because he complained to Krishna, look, I've traveled all over the place. I don't see where your names are being glorified. All that I see is all this type of bogus people talking bogus philosophies and, distracting, misdirecting people, all in the name of spirituality. So it's like saying, hey, Krishna, do something about this. I'm fed up. In America, you find this language. I'm sick of this. So, Lord Krishna, in order to placate Narada Muni, said, don't worry, I will rectify this. I'll take responsibility. Taking responsibility. Even Lord Krishna, he took the responsibility. Coming as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking up a responsibility. So, Lord Chaitanya came to spread his own love of Godhead. But the confidential aspect that is being delineated in this text is that Lord Krishna was also wondering at some point in time, what is it that this Radha, what is he deriving? I can't understand the pleasure he has in serving me. I can't understand the pleasure in my own holy names. So sometimes we think that to serve somebody is like a burden. But serving someone gives the server pleasure. Recently there's some research results that came out delineating that those who give out, they're happier than those who don't give. Those who give charity, those who, they are charitable disposed, they share their wealth with others, they are happier at heart. So those who serve, especially want to speak of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Radharani was just a super excellent servant, a lover, and her service attitude, which is internally imbued with love and affection. There are two ways to go about service. You can serve somebody grudgingly. You can serve somebody with love and affection. So Radharani serves Lord Krishna, encourages, motivates, inspires other gopis to serve Lord Krishna. And so with this service attitude, she was deriving so much of pleasure. And Krishna knew that she was deriving so much of pleasure. So Lord Krishna wanted to taste that pleasure himself. Radharani is serving him, but it's not getting the pleasure the way Radharani is getting. So he wanted to come to experience the mood of Radharani. He wanted to experience the pleasure that Radharani. So that's why he assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But it's the same Krishna, like Rupa Goswami mentioned here, Swarup Damodara mentioned in his diary, the same Sarvabhauma has mentioned similar, almost the same type of statement in his writings. So we speak philosophy, we speak about the avatars, and see, sometimes we don't seem to realize how fortunate the devotees in ISKCON are, because you find in most of these sampradayas, or most of these mandyas, you go and the priest talks, and that the people who come, that's why they hear. They don't have anything to read or something like that. But you see, our own system is so that the Prabhupada has translated so many Vedic literatures. Here you find Chaitanya Charitamrita documented all about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and his loving devotees. Again, if you go into the Chaitanya Bhagavat, again, it's just completely full about Lord Chaitanya's pastimes and his devotees. So, if we start now to study these literatures, we cannot finish before even we give up this body. And if we are not studying these literatures, how are we going to know if someone is faking? I remember when I joined the movement, my Guru Maharaja Bhakti Vasudeva Swami, he used to always tell us, hey, read books, read Prabhupada's books, read Prabhupada's books, so that you don't get cheated by anyone. So we have so many literatures giving us information about the pastimes of the Lord. And here, in this very chapter, is focused on the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the confidential appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Lord Chaitanya came, he spread the Sankirtan movement, inaugurated the Sankirtan movement. And even the Sankirtan movement, it is founded on the basis of science. It is founded on the basis of a model we call the management science, synergy model. Synergy model means, people come together to do something. The result is always greater than those people separately doing that the same thing and bringing their results together. They cannot match when they come together to do the same thing. The results are always greater than doing it separately. So Lord Chaitanya could have said, all right, stay in your homes, lock up yourself in your rooms or in your homes and, do the chanting. He said, come together, let's come together. And Lord Chaitanya pioneered that. He went to the streets with his devotees. Why? Because he's showing us by his personal example, Acharya. And a very fundamental principle of spreading these teachings, or spreading the holy names, is given to us by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. spreading the holy names, congregational chanting. And when we come together to do the congregational chanting, what does it mean to the public? What is the benefit to the public? What will the public benefit when we come together to chant the holy names? We're trying to save our necks? No. I remember in 1990, some scientists, they conducted the research in Washington, D.C. They, not even the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, okay, not even the greatest of mantras, but they came together chanting some mantras. Before they started the experiment, they checked with the crime diary of Columbia District. They had a recorder, they recorded it. During the period they were conducting this research, basically chanting. They also, after the exercise, they also went to the crime diary to check within that period that they were engaged in this chanting of mantras, the crime rate. And then they found that during that period, the crime plummeted. So this is just demonstrating the potency of the holy name. When we come to the temple, we are chanting, we're doing kirtan in the temple. That environment is benefiting so much. People who don't even know, who don't come to participate, they are benefiting from it. That is the potency of the holy name. And that is why it is mentioned that this holy name, spreading of the holy names, is the highest philanthropic activity that you can think of in this material world. Who wants crimes in his neighborhood? Nobody. That's why people lock up their homes, lock up their gates, lock up their houses. And so, just by chanting, coming together to glorify Lord Krishna, people are benefiting. And this is exactly what Lord Caitanya came to inaugurate. He founded this Sankirtan movement. What Prabhupada did was to transplant this Sankirtan movement in the Western shores. And because it is so authentic, it is coming from the spiritual world. Golokera Premadan, Harinam Sankirtan. It is coming from the spiritual world. The power, the potency is intact. And that is why Prabhupada was able to change so many people, create a transformative change on the planet, a positive transformative change. And so, the mission of Lord Caitanya is not complete. That we also have to do our part by helping to spread this love of God. People want love in this world. People want love. They are seeking for love. They are looking for someone to love. And sometimes the love is misplaced. And so Lord Caitanya has given us a very simple process of revamping our Krishna consciousness with the positive side effects of being able to imbibe a culture of love and radiating a culture of love. The whole idea when we talk about love of Godhead, trying to serve Krishna or develop loving devotional service, but how can we talk about loving devotional service when we don't love the parts and parcels of Krishna around us? It's ironical. And therefore, the fundamental idea, Rupa Goswami has given us this principle of how to establish loving relationships among the devotees in the Caritamrita. And so it is imperative that devotees understand the fundamentals of how to be able to expedite progress in Krishna consciousness, service to the devotees. Because we may not have a perception of Krishna or Gaura Nitai. We may see them as just motis, but the pure devotee comes and he is discussing with Gaura Nitai there in the temple. There was a case of one pujari. He deviated. So one day he came to the temple, he came to the altar, and he couldn't find the deities. He couldn't, this is not Purana. It happened just a few years ago in our movement. So this pujari, he came in, and the other pujaris, they were doing the services, they were baiting the respective deities they were assigned to, and he has to take care of the big deities. And then he came in, he said, "Where is Radha Sundar?" So the other pujaris, they were surprised. Radha Sundar is there, but this guy is asking, "Where is Radha Sundar?" So they were surprised. And then they said, Radha Sundar is there. And he couldn't see the deities because he was blinded with some sinful dust in his eyes. He deviated. So this who says that Krishna, in his Lord Chaitanya, is just sentimental, he's just taking people on the streets and dancing and singing? No, it's not just sentimental. There's a lot of potency in this movement. Don't play around.
Exactly.
So, the Kazi, he would try to stop Lord Chaitanya's movement. He tried it. And Lord Chaitanya was completely deviant, socially deviant. He didn't care about the Kazi. And even in the night, he came as Ugra Nrsimha, pounced on the Kazi, and said, I'm going to kill you if you don't stop disturbing my movement. So who says this is a sentimental process? This is a movement from the spiritual world. Golokera Premadan, Harinam Sanki. We should be proud of being members of the Hare Krishna movement. And so it is important that there is a lot we can derive in the process of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, because the pleasure that Lord Chaitanya came to experience based on what Radha has been experiencing in our service to Krishna. And look, Radha, because of her love, she controlled Krishna. See, that was there's this incident in this book of that dealing with the pastime of the pearls. And so there was a big festival at Govardhan. And so one of Krishna's parrots came to tell Krishna that, the gopis headed by Radha, they are preparing all these pearls for that Malika festival. And so so Krishna went to meet the gopis, headed by Radha. He said, can you people give me some pearls for me to decorate my, my cows for the festival? And Lalita spoke up that these pearls are meant to be worn by queens, and you were asking these pearls to be given to you to decorate your cows. What is this? We're not going to give it to you. So Krishna said, I hear you, Lalita. Now I know who you are. So Krishna went back to his mother's house, and then went to meet his mother. He said, Janani, give me some pearls. I want to go and make a garden of pears. So, Yasoda thought, what is wrong with this guy? Pears don't grow from the ground. So what is going on? He said, just give me some pears. And in 3 days, you will see what is going to happen. So Mama Yasoda, brought all of the pears that she was around available and gave it to her son. She trusts her son, okay? She gave. And Krishna went to the bank of the Jamuna, organized some of his friends. They made some plots of garden there and planted these pears and fenced the place. And so when they were doing this, the gopis came by. The gopis came by and they saw what Krishna, and they just busted out laughing, He said, they thought, what is this? This is just going to produce nothing. But Krishna tolerated. He didn't just talk to them. The Supreme Personality of God. He didn't just talk to them. He knew what he was doing, where he was going. So, after 3 or 4 days, these pears started sprouting, started growing up. And said, so he brought his mother. He dragged his mother, held the sari of the mom, say, Janani, come and go see my garden. Come go see the pears. And some mother Yasoda came there, and she was surprised. So, when Yasoda left, they went back. So these pears, they grew up, luxuriantly. And within a short while, the whole place was covered with the scent of these pears. And so the gopis, they became humiliated. And the story goes, the pastime went on. Now the gopis also, they knew that if they come to beg Krishna, Krishna may not give them because they refuse to give him pears to decorate his cows. So they decided also to make their own garden and collect all the pears from their homes. And this pastime is so funny. But the reason I'm bringing up this is there are a lot of lessons to learn. If we don't give to Krishna, he does not. If we don't give to Krishna, he is like an octet electron. An octet electron does not need any sharing of any proton or anything with any other electron. It's octet. It's like an Atmaram. It's self-satisfied. So Lord Chaitanya came to teach us how to serve Lord Krishna. But if even we say, well, who cares? I don't want to serve the Lord. The Lord does not really need our service. Whatever we do is for our own purification. So what happened? The gopis collected all of these jewelries, pearls from their parents, went and then developed some garden, put them inside the ground in the name of planting, and they never grew up. After some days, it was sticker bushes that were springing up. And they felt very humiliated. What happens? To cut things short, afterwards, they came begging Krishna to give them pearls because the parents were harassing them. Where are the jewelries? Where are the jewelries? Where are the jewelries? So yeah, Krishna has divided a means to reach out to us through Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through his own munificent form as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to help to motivate us to take to devotional service. And it's not a difficult thing. Lord Chaitanya is not demanding that you give up your job, you give up your school, you give up your deeds, you come and surrender to me. It's Lord Chaitanya. Even people who want to surrender to him want to give up their homes. They said, no, go and take care of your home. Just make your home Krishna conscious. What could be easier than this? There's no, no strings attached. Be where you are and develop yourself spiritually so that you can become a useful instrument in expanding the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is something that we should be very much gladdened about, because in most cases we find that spiritual culture entails a lot of sacrifices. And here, Lord Chaitanya does not demand of anything from anybody. All that he solicits for is that we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we will develop love for Krishna. And in this very lifetime, we will be able to attain the perfection that is required to catapult us to the spiritual world at the end of this lifetime, without even changing your position, just to add something to what you are doing. So, essentially, we should understand the identity of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Lord Krishna himself and Radharani, who have combined to come to extend their mercy to the conditioned souls. Lord Krishna has assumed the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to taste the love that Srimati Radharani derives in service to Lord Krishna. And see, Srimati Radharani is the only person who can tell Krishna, shut up there, shut up there. Oh yeah. in the same literature, in this pastime, when the gopis came to beg for the pearls, and Krishna was hesitating, and even one of his friends, what is the name of this cowherd boy? He was like siding the gopis, and Krishna was insulting him that you're so gullible. You're not a good friend. You're just siding these gopis. This is what they did to me. I begged them for pearls, they refused to give it to me, and now you are, you're siding them. So, but then, understand that here is a situation where the devotee faulted. They faulted. They messed up. The gopis, they messed up. And here is somebody who is close to Krishna, and is begging Krishna, look, these are your devotees. How can you talk like this? How can you say you will not give them? So there's a lot to learn in our devotional culture. That the devotee is even there to help the devotee who is failing in the attempt to serve the Lord. And Lord Krishna is very happy about seeing someone who is soliciting, who is begging, who is praying for another devotee, who is helping another devotee in their spiritual quest, in their spiritual journey. So Subal is that Gopal. Subal was soliciting for Krishna to release the pearls to these people, to these gopis, so that they can go and placate their parents, because they took the sins away, and the parents are like, they're mad after them. And therefore, when they came, and Radha was hiding in some part of a bush there, and then the other gopis were soliciting. And so Krishna said, but I'm not seeing Radha here, so she's not ready to take this, her own share of the pearls to replace the ones that she collected from her home. And then Radha, spoke up there. He said, shut up there, shut up there, shut up. Can anyone tell God, shut up there? Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. That's so, see, this is the epitome of loving relationship. It's only the lover who can tell the beloved, shut up there. You're talking nonsense. So we should try to understand deeply the potency of Krishna consciousness, that This is a process to be able to control God. See, Nanda Maharaj will tell Krishna, bring my wooden shoes. Krishna pick up the wooden shoe and put it on his head. It's strange. Someone is engaging God to put his wooden shoes on his head. But you can get that very mercy in Krishna consciousness by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions? Oh, we have just 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
nice. Thank you very much for this very nice, wonderful, enlivening, and also a lecture with so many lessons to learn. Devotees, if you want to unmute yourself and talk about your takeaways, I'll hold off for mine first since I'm playing host here. So if you want to ask a question, or you have a takeaway, or you have some realizations connected to this lecture that you want to share, please unmute yourself and speak up. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to God, Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for this class, Maharaj. I'm sorry I joined a bit late. I had to end another class with Chandramali Swami and then hop onto this one. So I apologize, Maharaj.
Oh, it's all right.
Maharaj, as devotees, as practicing devotees, how can we really be proud and appreciate Shri Prabhupada's movement and not take it for granted?
That's a nice question. Yeah, if we understand the meaning of life, the life is about redirecting and misdirected millions and millions of lifestyles, millions and millions of lifetimes, millions and millions of lifetimes we've been in this material world completely misdirected, engaged in different type of activities, and this time we have the opportunity. We have been exposed to the teachings of Prabhupada, giving us in-depth information about devotional service, how to love Krishna, how to serve Lord Krishna and go back to Godhead. So if we understand how we have been roving around in this material world, Brahmanda, Brahmi, Konya, Bhagyavan, Jiva, moving from one Brahmanda to the other, one planet to the other, one universe to the other. I mean, it's a long journey. we can't even trace. So, if someone has been a prisoner and the governor or the president of the country comes to the prison yard to exercise his prerogative of mercy and says, okay, your term is not yet due, but get out from this place, get out from this place, get out from this place. I have the power to do this. It's called prerogative of mercy. The president has this power. The governor has this power. They go to the prisons once in a year or so, and then exercises their prerogative of mercy. So the prisoner understands that I could languish here for the rest of my life, but for this person, I am freed. They will be very much appreciative of what they have received, the message they have received, and create a reform in their own lives. Even in the prison, I know of somebody who was jailed, a drug baron from New York. Recently, he was jailed and he was released from jail recently. He entered the jail without a college degree. You know what he came out after his jail term? A long jail term. You know what he got from that? He got his PhD when he was in jail. And he came out, but he didn't sit back with his PhD. He went now from one door to the other. He knows the drug dealers. He went about from one place to the other, begging these people, counseling them on the dangers of drug peddling and drug trafficking. He realized the importance of his time in jail. He maximized the utility of that time. Some people are in jail, they could go commit more crimes. I remember one guy in jail, he stabbed the guy who killed Floyd. That guy was jailed, okay? But that police guy was jailed, and then he got stabbed by one inmate.
Really?
Yeah. Seriously,
Wow. Mm.
So someone could be in jail, and instead of finding ways to extricate themselves from the jail term, and they commit more crimes to prolong their stay. So here we are jailbirds. Prabhupada has given us this type of prerogative of mercy, get out from this prison. So we should appreciate what we have been given. How can we appreciate that? We should help in spreading the same mercy to others. We should engage ourselves seriously in devotional service. You see, when we join the movement, we have to give up everything, studies, education, everything. We gave up to spread the movement. And every day we go to bed. If even we go to bed at 1 o'clock, we have to wake up at 3 o'clock to come to Mangarati at 4:30. And you have to go out. I remember when I joined, I joined, and just that first year I was engaged in Pujari work. And you know what? You have to go to the altar at 4 o'clock. And from that 4 o'clock, 4 in the morning, finish until after Prasad, before you're free. And then after Prasad, you're going out on Sankirtan. And then when you come back, you go up back to the altar. So you tell me the time you have for yourself. Nothing. So you know what I was doing at that time? I would wake up in the dead of night to chant my rounds before 4 o'clock. So this is an appreciation of the fact that, look, this is what I've been looking for. I was inquiring about the very essence, why there is this seeming dysfunctional society or variegatedness in society. Someone is born poor, someone is born rich, someone is born lame, blind, deaf, someone is born wholesome, beautiful. And so when I read Prabhupada's books, 2 books I read, and I got all my answers that were bugging, questions that were bugging, answers to the questions that were bugging me for right from my childhood answered. So I came and joined the movement. Why? I thought there could be other people like me who want to know things about this life and they don't know. So let me help to spread this movement. So we should understand there are so many people who are out there lacking information about how to reform their lives, how to live peacefully, and how to be able to create a positive change in their families. We have all of this spiritual information culture. To appreciate what we have, we should help in disseminating this same knowledge by helping to preach to people, be friendly with people, and create relationships, whether at your workplace, at school, or whatever, within your neighborhood, create relationships. Because it's easy for someone to come close and take to Krishna consciousness when they have someone they know in that community. So relationship is a fundamental principle in appreciating what we have been given by Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada did establish a relationship with all of these devotees who met him in 26 Second Avenue. He served them. Relationship means what? Serving. He served them. And then they turn on. What? He's an elderly person. He's serving us. Let's serve him. This is how we can, gain followership in our movement. Creating a conducive and enabling environment for others to participate in Krishna consciousness. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Last comment?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Any other last comment?
Thank you so much, Madhu. That's very, very helpful. Thank you. Yes, go ahead with other questions.
Hare Krishna. Accept my humble obeisances, all glory to the Prabhupada. The lecture is very, very instructive, and there's so much advice that's there. And when you gave the examples of the pearls that Krishna took from Mother Yashoda, put it in the ground, and it sprouted in just a few days. And The gopis tried to do that and they got nowhere. That point was made to us then, at least this hippie. We have been given the opportunity, this is my takeaway, opportunity to connect with this movement to save our own selves. Because the Lord is Atmaram. If the Lord doesn't need any help from anyone and he's fully satisfied and he can do anything, so who really needs help? Is it him or us? How come we're not understanding this? Hmm? We have to chant, so basically we chant, yes, we say we're pleasing the Lord's senses, but actually we're trying to get out of jail too. The same, that's the whole thing we need to understand. So we have to do it for us. Ultimately, we have to do it for us because the Lord is loving us. He's a loving Father, and He wants us to get out of this crazy thing that we think is normal life. And we've done so many times. And we're looking at the dogs and everything. I've been in a dog bite before, and still we don't get it. Then get out of here and go to this sublime place where you've never had any anxiety. You don't have to work. You don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to go to school. None of that. And we're sitting here saying, "Oh, this one is better." I mean, we're crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy.
We are.
So this lecture brought home the fact that we have to chant, yes, obey the spiritual master's orders, and take what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Shema Bhavatam. His incarnations are saying it, his pure devotees are saying it. In the end, we get to be free.
Yeah.
We got to get that in our heads. And then join Krishna. And then you see the love of Krishna just come through. And we'll be happy again. So thank you very much, class, for giving this example. Krishna grew the pearls. Nobody else was able to go. Even his devotees that loved him, gopis, they challenged, and then it happened. They refused to give him pearls. Then he grew pearls right from the ground. They tried to do that. They couldn't do that. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead has all the powers. And Lord Chaitanya says, please just connect with him. That's it. You just connect with him by the way he says to connect with him, and that's it. So maybe we'll wake up from this drunken stupor that we're in mentally and be able to just do what we're supposed to do. That's all. That's all. Thank you for bringing it up that way, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Arvo.
Can you read that quote, that point from that chat from Dear Krishna? He put a very nice. You on mute, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. This is one of the Dear Krishna, who Hare Krishna, please accept, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble, respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. Thank you for the beautiful class, beautiful pastimes and instructions. When you were answering the first question, I could literally feel myself being like a football getting kicked from one planet to another, from one universe to universe. But glad and feel fortunate to still have this opportunity to be in this movement. So this is what he said. That was his realization.
Okay.
So we're going from one to another, one universe to another. But it's interesting. He says, I feel like a football being kicked from one planet to another. Anyway, I'll leave that to you. Hare Krishna. So that was his comment.
Maharaj, also, I really was moved by this pastime you shared about this Pujari who came in one day and he couldn't see the deities. But the deities were there, but he was so covered. And wow. I mean, Krishna does blind our eyes. Wow, that's real. That was amazing. I mean, we hear this in the Shastra, Maharaj, but then to know that it actually happened like a few years ago is like a wake.
Right here in this moment,
Hare Krishna. And Maharaj, that can also be because when we get so puffed up, right? That can also kind of blind us, Maharaj?
Yeah. Being puffed up, basically, is we tend to forget that we are infinitesimal. We are so infinitesimal that on the global arena, when the jiva is put like a dot on the global marketplace, jiva is invisible. It cannot be seen.
Mhm.
And yet, because 1/10,000 the tip of the air, 1/10,000 the tip of the air, we don't have cause to be puffed up. But we can't be puffed up because we are covered by ignorance. We are covered by what do you call it? By false ego. False ego. You know, Bhakti Swami Maharaja said that the greatest enemy of the spiritualist is false ego. And the false ego could detract us from spiritual, pure devotional service. Because with the false ego, we can be offensive to people. And when we're offensive, our devotional creeper could be checked. So yeah, we could be covered up in different ways. And essential thing is to have this loving disposition. And when we have loving disposition towards each other, then all of those negative negative elements of obstruction, they become completely vanquished. Because the way, for instance, we love Krishna. If we extend that love, the way we love our spiritual mentor, if we extend that love to all the devotees around us, even to our family members, it's awful, most awful. I've seen this as I travel around, and I want devotees each time I go to people's homes. I say, see, you're treating me nicely. You make sure you treat your whole family nicely, like you're treating me. I tell people openly about this. So because it's so easy to treat a Swami, to treat your guru, to serve Krishna nicely, but then what about his parts and parcels, especially your family members? Because the family is a microcosm of the society of the nation. So if you love Krishna, you have to demonstrate your love for Krishna by the way you love your family members.
Mhm.
This is not, you don't need rocket science to understand this. It's a simple phenomenon. So yeah, the ego may tend to blind us, and devotional service could be easily digested when we apply it in our lives. We apply the simple instructions, the simple phenomena in our lives. But in most cases, we tend to undermine the simple phenomena, and then we talk about Gopi Bhava, but simple phenomena we don't implement, and then we miss the whole point. So yeah, there are several things that could cause us to become blinded to the vision of Lord Krishna, and then the fundamental principle is that we can prevent that by radiating love amongst the devotees around us. All right. I think we have to end this class now. It's already past 15 minutes past the hour. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Very much, everyone, for participating. And
for
then
this wonderful class.
I want to
And we
catch up
thank
with you
all
guys
the
again.
devotees for joining us. We really enjoyed your class, March, and we asked the devotees to please do go back and hear it. And hopefully we all had at least one takeaway from it. And we look forward to having March again with us. Hopefully in the next 2-3 months, we look forward to your visit again, Maharaj. Vanchokarapatibhyascha, Kripasindhubheva, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhupada.